Hello everyone, welcome to the channel where we try to seek the good. I hope all of you have been having a nice day, and if you're a bit new with us, let me give you a brief overview of what we are about. Basically, this is a community-based channel where we talk about the good things that happen in our days, both the big things and the little things, and we try to share it with each other to show that good things happen all around us. So if something good happened in your day, please feel free to share it down in the comments below so we can discuss it. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then I hope you can at least take something positive away from these videos to make your day just a little bit better. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. All right, so I got 4 topics to really talk to you guys about today. And it was another unexpectedly good day today, but kind of for a different reason. As you guys might know from the previous video, I floated all day yesterday and it made me really tired. So I was kind of going into the day expecting a normal day, but instead things didn't exactly go to plan, as the doctor that I usually work with had to take a sick day. And that left my schedule a bit up to change, and it resulted in a pretty pleasant change for me. So more on that in just a bit. And carrying on from that, I got to have a good pastime with the nurse that I usually work with. As we worked together today, we got to listen to a podcast in the background, and I think we both found something that we can at least talk about a lot together that um, we may listen to it more in the future. So fingers crossed that works out, and I had a good time with that today. And moving on from all that, I got some very special news, but it's not for me, it's for one of my coworkers. He had a big announcement that he found out about last night, and the whole clinic was really excited for him. We're planning on celebrating it for him, and I'll tease that announcement later on for you guys. I don't want to just give it out, we want to we want to save it. And then finally, I'm going to do a compliment segment, which I usually do. For those of you that don't know, people that I usually work with throughout the day, I try to find something that I like about their appearance and give them a quick little compliment about it in order to try and make their day a little bit better. This could be patients or my coworkers, just whatever I find that sticks out about their outfit, something that has a little bit of personality. I just give a little compliment, and yeah, it could be sort of anything. And I got one woman to talk about that had a nice shawl around her, along with some matching cheetah print shirt and cheetah print shoes. And I'll get in more detail about her later on. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the video. So, I was exhausted after yesterday. I had broken my routine because I had been on my feet all day floating around, very tired when I went to bed last night, very tired when I got up this morning. And this day, a normal day with the doctor I usually work with, didn't look like it was going to be too much, because yeah, it can be a bit time consuming at most, but not really like uh, energy consuming, if you know what I mean. So I was expecting a day like that. However, he had to take a sick day because he received his second COVID shot a couple of days ago. And this is really good news for him because with the second shot, that means he's going to get the majority of the effectiveness from the vaccine over time. It takes a couple of weeks to reach that level of effectiveness, but it's usually good news. However, he had kind of an adverse reaction to the first time around, and by adverse I mean he got a fever, felt a little bit under the weather, that sort of thing. He didn't get really sick or anything like that. He just had a reaction, which is good news because it shows that the body is developing an immune response, and that's what you want from a vaccine. However, the stories about the second shot being worse than the first shot turned out to be true in my doctor's case, because he felt even worse this time around, and so bad that he actually had to cancel clinic today and get all his patients rescheduled. So while I was screening today, that kind of left me scratching my head about what I was going to do. And I'm not going to lie, I was sitting there and I was thinking about the kind of clinic we had today and how they were probably going to need a lot of help, and I was scared that they were going to get me to float around, and I would be even more tired for the video today. But luckily that didn't happen. Instead, they gave me the task of working on computer tasks all day, which is basically prepping charts for clinics in the coming days, and sending out letters and all that. So it's stuff that definitely does need to get done, and it's important work, but I regard that as pretty special for me because it's the only job where I don't have to be on my feet all day. So I consider it as a nice sort of vacation from what I usually do. And one thing I like to do whenever this happens is I like to listen to horror story podcasts in order to make the day a little bit better. So I got to do all that today, and it was just a nice surprise for the middle of the week, which had been kind of demanding up to this point. Um, so that was a good thing that happened. And carrying on from that, I didn't really have a quiet corner to like work by myself and listen to my podcasts like I would usually want to do. Um, and that's okay. It was a busy day in the clinic, but instead I went to the office that my doctor usually works at, and his nurse was working from there because she had been kind of left high and dry as well. And rather than just like trying to keep running around, I asked if I could work in there with her, and she was totally okay with that. And we get along pretty well anyway, so it was bound to work out for us anyways. Uh, but I was nervous about listening to horror story podcasts with her because I didn't know how she would really receive it. She's always been like very open to any kind of music we listen to. Anytime I go in there and she's like, "Oh, is there specific music you want to listen to?" She's open to anything. So I was feeling pretty confident, but I didn't know how she felt about podcasts or even horror story podcasts. So I kind of took a leap of faith when she asked me what I wanted to listen to, and I made the suggestion of a horror story podcast. And it took a little bit of playing around to figure out the audio that we wanted to listen to. And she had to make phone calls too, so I had to pause every now and then so that our patients didn't hear it. She insisted that was fine, but I don't want the stories to suddenly have a swear storm in the middle and then suddenly patients are hearing that. So pause it was. And it didn't exactly help that the first couple stories we had were some clunkers. They weren't really scary. I know they had horror elements to them, but no, they weren't that great. And on top of that, we even got some sad news later, so we had to switch from the horror podcast to something a bit more lighthearted to try and cheer ourselves up. And yeah, we were enjoying our time together, but it's one of those things where I was enjoying the lighthearted podcast, but I wasn't enjoying it as much as the horror stories. And I had a couple more I wanted to listen to, so I switched over to that. And I managed to find a good, interesting story that, believe it or not, was made by a 9-year-old, and it really was a good horror story. So good, as a matter of fact, that it was the first time all day that my nurse actually paid attention to what was going on, and we got to talk about it. We really enjoyed it. We enjoyed the one after that, and I think if we can find some more good horror stories, we might have a good pastime when we work together now. So fingers crossed that works out, and I'm actually just glad I got to enjoy her company today with some horror story podcasts. So it was a win-win for me. So I'll stop rambling about that. I'll stop gushing about that. How about that? Well, I'll try to stop saying that at this point. All right. So moving on from the good things that happened to me today, we have even bigger news from one of my coworkers. And he has been a student who recently graduated from college and had been applying to medical school recently. And last night he got his decision from his top medical school that he had been accepted to. So he came and he told all of us at the clinic about what was going on, and we were all super happy about it. The work put it in the email and sent it to everyone in the clinic. Because it's really good news. Medical school is really hard to get into, and it's a big deal that he got in, especially his number one choice. So I'm really happy for him, especially as someone that's aspiring to get into medical school myself. So I wish him the best of luck, and I can't tell him how happy I am for him. And I just want to share that with you guys. That's a really good thing, and I hope that can at least give you guys a smile as well, because good things do happen, especially if you work really hard at it. So good on him. All right. So now to close out the day, the compliments I usually give out, I had talked to my wife about it, and we've decided that I'm going to make it into a little segment because I talk about it in every single video, and it is kind of a little segment at this point. So I'm going to just basically talk about the compliments that matter a lot to me today, and then I'll move on. So with this compliment segment, I got one woman to really talk about, and as you guys heard from the little intro before, she had on a nice white shawl to go over her cheetah print shirt, and she had on cheetah print shoes to go with it. And the outfit, while not the most extravagant I've ever seen, it it was definitely something that caught your eye because it matched and it went well together. And she had a pretty good attitude as well. We had a nice little conversation about how the day was going and all that. However, our interaction didn't end there because it turned out that the person I was assigned to put a event monitor on was her. So we got to see each other again. And the first time around, I had complimented her shawl because while I had noticed the matching shirt and shoes and I appreciated that, I kind of liked the shawl a bit more. But getting to put the monitor on her, not only did I have more of an opportunity to talk and enjoy her company, but I had another opportunity to compliment the rest of the outfit because it did deserve a compliment. So she got 2 compliments today. I promise that's not to make up for the compliment I missed yesterday. And yeah, I really enjoyed her company and made my day a little bit better. So with all that being said, that'll do it for my video today. Again, if you had something good that happened in your day today, please feel free to share down in the comments below. I'm sure that myself and anyone that comes across these videos would love to hear about it and see that good things do happen all around us. Also consider liking and subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed the content today, so you can get updates on new videos that come out in the future and some more good things. With all that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and this has been Seek the Good. Goodbye.